Well, come and you get it. I'm on you. I guess.
I don't want to be between treating everybody well and not seeing.
Could I ask you your opinion on the recent assassination attempt of President Trump?
I'm good, bro. Turn on the camera.
I think it was a PR stunt.
No, I'm not making any comments
Not even...
because they wouldn't be positive, so...
Well, that's okay. So do you think that he brought this on himself?
Well, he didn't help.
Yeah, I feel like someone was going to probably eventually.
No, I love watching the videos and he's like bleeding. I think it's pretty cool, but obviously it's not. I'm not Team Trump.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't want to get canceled.
I don't really care much about what happens to him as a person. Like if he was, he acted and had the same beliefs as he has and was just like some guy on the street, I wouldn't really care. Like I'd probably just kind of giggle. And for someone like me, who is trans, and like it's like very scary to see people who are in my position like just fear for their lives.
After the failed assassination attempt of President Trump, the internet has been saturated with all sorts of crazy people saying all sorts of crazy stuff.
I'm not saying that I would ever try to assassinate a presidential candidate. All I'm saying is that if I went through all of that trouble, I wouldn't miss.
Dude, you had one job. One job. And you it up.
How do you miss that? We don't miss those!
It, the dude, the firefighter guy, Trump, the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay? Just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, getting blown away or whatever I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am.
Demons. We need to really stop platforming reprobates. Anyways.
UBC is investigating a now deleted social media post from one of its faculty members. The post appeared to be wishing the assassination attempt on Donald Trump had been successful.
Dr. Karen Pinder, who is a professor of teaching at the University of British Columbia in my hometown, Vancouver, BC, went viral internationally when she said on X on the 13th, "Damn, so close, too bad. What a glorious day this could have been." Although this sort of language should be surprising from people in institutions and positions in power in Canada, I'm not surprised at all. We've gotten pretty used to crazy leftists just being crazy and saying crazy stuff in public with no ramification in Canada. Seems to be the status quo these days. I decided to go down to UBC myself and ask people on the street, what do you really think of Donald Trump and his failed assassination attempt? The answers didn't shock me, but they might shock you.
Well, I think I think we need to abhor violence of any kind. Whether it's a presidential candidate or anybody else being shot at.
I think that's a pretty reasonable deduction. Oh, you're not from here? Where are you guys from?
Australia.
Australia? Well, welcome. Well, what does Australia think of Donald Trump? You can be honest. No one from Australia is going to see this.
I was going to say, you don't want to know what I think.
I think it was a PR stunt, to be honest.
I think it was a PR stunt, too. You guys really think it was a PR stunt?
Yeah.
Like, so you think he's like, hey, stand 150 meters away and shoot me in the ear. Have you seen the graph of like where it would have entered his head if he had turned even 45 degrees? And you still think that it was a stunt?
Look what happened.
Well, because I feel like after that, after it happened initially, like there were all these people that were like, that kind of went onto like social media and they were kind of like, yeah, I don't give a if you're like voting for Trump or like Biden, but like we're Team Trump after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, like the guy was a Republican, right? Or like that's
Yeah.
what people are saying.
Yeah, he was apparently a registered Republican, but he's also, there's some things about it that are a little bit weird, right? Because he's a 20-year-old without any social media. And 2 years ago, he was featured in a BlackRock advertisement. I don't know if you know about that.
No, I don't.
So BlackRock is one of the largest investment funds in the world. And when people talk about, the Illuminati or the people that own everything, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, these are like the mega bankers that own, and he was featured in one of their ads. So that's not something that you just go to, an open call casting for.
No, Trump had nothing. I mean, you think he would take a chance on his own head? Like, it would have to be a miracle for the guy not to shoot him in the head, to try and hit him just in the ear. That's bullshit.
Yeah, from 150 yards in the with a 22,
be
probably.
real.
8 rounds were fired. I'm
Be
trying
real.
to account for 3 that were not accounted.
No, they had snipers on the roof that saw the guy there never
was
took
hit,
him out.
And
They got it on film.
Bro, I heard Chinese government was brainwashing the guy through TikTok, bro.
You got this evidence here that the guy's stalking here?
So what about the guy that died, right? There was a father who was murdered. He caught a stray bullet and he was murdered. Do you still think that he's that committed to the cause, that it was that much of a scam?
Low-key, he's probably not even dead, to be honest.
What about the shooter that had his brains blown out that was trending on Reddit and X on both liberal and Republican media?
I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, well, that was easy, wasn't it?
2 words, setup.
You guys think it was a setup?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I was in the military. I already know, that roof would have been covered if it wasn't a setup.
They interviewed a professional sniper, and he said it was a setup.
And they got the set snipers there that were looking right at it.
Right. Well, a lot of people are saying that they thought he set it up, like, oh, Trump wanted to get shot in the ear because it's good for publicity.
God, motherfucker. Or you will regret it.
Oh, God.
You're in my face.
Just an attention whore.
Next time you get...
He was hitting me with the reverse elbow.
Well, come and get it. I'm on you. I guess.
Yeah, what's your opinion on it?
I stay clear of that because I don't want to end up like him,
Yeah, like you don't want to pay too much attention to politics?
Yeah, it just weighs you down, no matter what. And I've I came to the conclusion when I was 18 that voting's just fake.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of people feel that
just
way.
Compulsive liars, and it's always gonna be like that.
Do you think that media rhetoric over the last couple of years has contributed to this political environment?
Oh yeah, I think the media's got way out of hand now. I think too many people rely on some of that so-called fake news, and it'd be nice if we could get back to unfiltered politics and news, not being run by the billionaires.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in Canada, you can't even get the news on social media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everybody's just getting little snips and pieces of what other people want you to believe.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of hate on both sides. I see Republicans and Democrats always at each other's throats. Pretty bad. It makes an environment where you can't really talk to the other side without any violence, be it emotional or physical.
I think the political discourse has contributed to this environment, yes.
Yeah, I think Trump is very aggressively racist, and I think Biden's also quite bad.
I mean, I don't like him as a politician. He's one of the least likable politicians. So.
What is it about him that you dislike so much?
The racism and the sexism, and
yeah,
a lot of the general conservatism.
The general conservatism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he also has said some really questionable stuff, like the sexist stuff and racist stuff.
Apparently 70% of Canadians would vote for Joe Biden if it came to election. This includes registered conservatives. Does that surprise you?
No, I think he stands for what most Canadians believe in: fair democracy, middle class.
I think Trump can fuel people to do more vicious things, which we saw when he was in power. He was feeding hate. There was a lot of racism came to the forefront, and people feel very comfortable being racist now. People feel very comfortable being homophobic right now. They feel very comfortable saying exactly what they're thinking in their brain, and that's not a good thing. So if I had to choose, if I was voting in the States, I would hope Biden would step down. He's not, so I would go with Biden.
Yeah. What is it about Biden's policies or Biden generally that you think resonates with so many Canadians?
I just think a lot of Canadians are liberals, so probably a lot of them wouldn't vote for Trump.
Fair enough. Do you think most Canadians are liberal by default, or because they're kind of afraid to get canceled, as you put it, or to speak their...
I think some people are kind of afraid to get canceled. Sure. Yeah, cancel culture is pretty big.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything you like about him?
Well, the economy was really great under him, I will say that. What else? He was pretty good in bringing about peace in the Middle East, peace with Russia, peace with North Korea, so that was pretty good on his part.
That's a pretty big one.
Anytime I've seen people try to interview Biden about stuff, it's been you can't really tell what he's ever talking about.
Right.
And he's also pretending to be less coherent than he is, and he's already f***ing dying, So I don't think Biden's fooling anybody into thinking he's this middle left guy anymore. He's pretty far right.
There's a university professor here from UBC, actually. Her name's Dr. Karen Pinder, and she's going viral right now because she said on Twitter a couple days ago that it's unfortunate that the shooter missed. Do you think that sort of rhetoric is becoming of like a university professor?
I guess, yeah. And I mean, she's not lying though.
I would definitely say no. I would say like wishing death on anyone is wrong, like regardless of their views. I mean, like even if you disagree with them, you know, I would definitely say, you know, wishing death on them is wrong. I could see where she's coming from though, because you know, like you said, like a lot of people have been pushing like agendas, like saying he's Hitler, and he has definitely had some like very negative views.
Dr. Karen Pinder, who's a university professor here at UBC, she went viral yesterday for saying that on her Twitter that she wished the shooter hadn't missed. Do you have any comment on that?
That's her point of view. I have nothing to say about that.
Do you think it's all right to have people holding these sorts of views in positions of education and power in Canada?
I think this is one of the problems with social media in general.
Fair enough.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's terrible, right?
Terrible, yeah.
Is there anything if you had a message for our friends down south, what would it be?
I'd wish for no further assassinations.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
Take care, brother.
You too, bro.
Well, we're here today because there's a UBC professor. Her name's Dr. Karen Pinder. I'm sure you guys have heard about that at this point, but she basically went mega viral for saying, "Oh, I wish he hadn't missed." Do you think that sort of rhetoric is like becoming or safe or okay from people in positions of power?
Like wishing death upon political figures? Not really. I don't know. I don't think it does any good.
For someone in her position, she probably should not have made that statement. Clearly, she's kind of opened a lot of bad doors for herself right now. Like, there's a lot of people, we've seen it on every news agency, even in the States now, is picking up on it.
Do you think that sort of like rhetoric is acceptable from people who are like university teachers?
No, to be honest. Like, I think knowing that, like, you know, kind of just like who you are as a person, kind of like, she is like a professor teacher, and she does have an impact on people because she is teaching people, right. And, you know, she voices out opinions, and, like, you know, she teaches knowledge. Like, you shouldn't be putting that sort of stuff on the internet, especially if like it's for like millions of people to see. Like, I just think it's like kind of like, obviously everybody can voice their opinions, but like personally, and like I know other people that like they wouldn't want their self-image to be like burned in a sense, and like, you know, catching hate like that left and right, like it could put someone into like a bad mental state or whatnot, like sort of stuff like that. So.
Hold up. So this guy's essentially saying that there's nothing wrong with being a university professor calling for the death of a president, but rather maybe you just shouldn't voice those opinions publicly because it might affect your mental health. For sure. I think if we create an environment where it's okay to call a man literally Adolf Hitler for years and years and years, we're going to have people like this university professor who are comfortable saying, oh, he should have died or whatever else. Do you think that the media rhetoric has contributed to this environment that we're in at all? Or do you think it was like he brought it on himself? You're smiling like you're holding your tongue back. I don't blame you, but...
No, I got that.
Do you think the news calling him a Nazi or a Hitler for the last 2 years contributed to it at all?
Don't know.
All right, thank you.
I think the whole system's yo. This is just like, I feel like every second person I see, I like go down to Escape Plaza, I see all those people down there, no problem with them, but it's just like everyone's losing their mind, no matter who you are. It's like recreational drugs going rampant. It's just like everyone's done.
For people who are like, I guess, new Trump supporters or whatever adjective or title you want to use for these people, what are the specific policies that you two are both concerned about that he will implement? And I don't mean like rhetoric, and I don't mean like...
What's like the 2025 one? A lot of like the worst stuff, even like people like Trump, who will like very like obviously like fucking hate Mexicans, you know, like he like, yeah, I don't know, like they still like kind of like hide like that stuff a little more. And yeah, I don't know, just like yeah, I would just, yeah, first like that's on my mind right now, so yeah, just look at that. Like there's a lot of people that you probably care about that are going to be hurt by that. If you like porn, they're trying to ban porn. Yeah, I don't know, people are just like going like super far right with like the way they're treating these kind of issues. And
Do you think there's middle ground at all? Because it just seems like we're getting more and more divided on all of these issues. We need to find something that we can say, okay, that's reasonable. I might not agree with it, but I think that's best for the general public.
Well, I don't know. I think I just like talking about like what I think should happen, and like I don't want to like sacrifice. I don't want to be between treating everybody well and Nazi. You know, I just want to advocate for treating people well. I don't want to have to like be like, let's go a little towards Nazi, because there's not like I don't want to accommodate for them.
Honestly, maybe the media would break down society. I think it would. Like if you just took off all the MSNBC, all the major news networks off network for like 10 days, I think people would like spiral, start doing like actual research online, and then maybe like, oh, wait, maybe these like corporations that are all working together and all trying to make each other as much money as possible aren't telling us the truth every day at 9 and 5 o'clock at a specific time every day. It's like hypnosis, and then you hear the dun, 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 like whatever I sound skits right now, but like
I hear you.
When the news network, the 5 o'clock news starts, you hear like dun, 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 and they're like, oh, this is the truth. This is
like
news.
activating that.
Exactly, bro.
Lack of self-awareness from the average person I talk to is pretty alarming. Laughing about death, but then saying political violence is bad, likely just because there was a camera on them. It seems like Dr. Pinder said the quiet part out loud, and a lot of Canadians actually agree with her. I don't, but a lot do. If you appreciate this sort of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because remember, we can't get news on social media in Canada, so little channels like this are really important to spreading the word and keeping people informed. And don't forget, the truth will set you free during these strange times. Peace.